Hello students, today in this lecture we will discuss about slaughter machine in detail. So first of all, let us understand the different parts available in the slaughter machine. And to understand that, let us have a look at this simple figure and now try to understand the different parts available from the previous lectures also, because in our shaper machine and planar machine topic we have discussed many similar parts that you can see in this slaughter machine. So now let us write the different parts available one by one. So the first part, as you can see over here, this first part is called bed, and this bed is used to hold or to support entire structure that is available in this slaughter machine. Now the next major important part, that is called as the column, and this column is the vertical part, as you can see over here, and this vertical part is used to support the main ram movement that is obtained in the case of the slaughter machine. And this column is also consist of the many mechanisms that are used to obtain the table movement or the slaughter movement that are required during machining process. Now the third part, that is called as the table, and this table is used to hold and support the workpiece. That means the workpiece is set over on this table. Now the next important part, that is the fourth one, it is called as the ram, and this ram is used to obtain reciprocating movement of the tool. The next part, that is fifth one, it is called as the tool holder, and as we know, this tool holder is used to hold and support the tool, and the tool is available in this tool holder. And the tool, if provided over here, then it is nothing but the tool, which we need to indicate during the schematic diagram of this slaughter machine. And over here, as you can see, another mechanism is provided which is used to operate this slaughter machine, or we can see the motor is provided over here, which is required for turning on and off the entire machining operation in the case of this slaughter machine. So now we have simply summarized the main important parts available in the slaughter machine. And now if we summarize the common parts available in the case of the shaper machine, planar machine and slaughter machine, they are, let us list over here. The first common part available in the case of all the machine, that is shaper, slaughter and planar, the first one, that is the bed, which is used again to hold and support entire structure. Next important part, that is column, that is the vertical part available. The next important part, that is table, and this table is used to hold and support the workpiece, and this table is also used to provide axial movement, that is movement in the x direction and in the y direction to the workpiece. This table is used. The next important common part, that is the ram, and this ram is used to provide reciprocating movement to the tool for machining operation, because as we know, the main working principle of any shaper, planar and slaughter machine, that is the reciprocating movement of the tool, or it may be of the workpiece. The next common part, that is the tool holder, and this tool holder is used to hold and support the tool. And the last common part, that is the mechanism. So the mechanism that is specifically we are discussing about which type of mechanism is used to obtain the reciprocating movement of the table or the workpiece. And we have discussed in our previous lecture that it might be of crank type, it might be of crank and pulley type, it might be of the hydraulic type, or it might be of the geared type. So different mechanism can be used based on the requirement. So these are the common parts available in any of the, maybe it may be a shaper machine, planar machine, or it may be a slaughter machine. So now I hope it is clear to you that which are the main important parts available in the case of the shaper, planar and slaughter machine. Now let us have a look at the simple 2D schematic of the slaughter machine. So now you can verify all the details that we have discussed from this figure. The first part, that is the base, another is table, next tool, tool holder, ram, column and motor, which is used to finally provide the operating movement to this machine. So now where this slaughter machine is used, or where this slaughter machine is useful, that we must need to discuss. So we have discussed in our previous lectures that shaper and planar machines are used to finish or to machine the horizontal surfaces, maybe to machine the vertical surfaces, maybe angular surfaces, and if one want to obtain any formed profile, then it is also possible with the help of that planar and shaper machine. Then when this vertical shaper machine, or also it is known as this slaughter machine, is useful. So this slaughter machine is useful to generate the slots on the component, or to obtain keyways on the component. At that time majorly this slaughter machine is used, because these keyways are necessary for fixing of that particular part on any machinery. So any shape of these slots or keyways that can be generated easily with the help of this slaughter machine. And the mechanism available in the case of this slaughter machine are similar to that of the shaper and planar machine, and based on the requirement that mechanism can be used, and there might be a variation and the mechanism used in the case of the slaughter machine. So in this lecture we have discussed about the main major working of this slaughter machine and what are the basic important parts available in the case of this slaughter machine. Again I am repeating the working principle of this slaughter machine. So now what is the working principle of slaughter machine? Pause the video over here and try to recall the working principle of slaughter machine, and then verify it with what I am discussing over here. So now what is the working principle of this slaughter machine? So the primary motion that is required in the case of this slaughter machine, that is the vertical reciprocating movement of the tool. So again I am writing over here the primary motion, that is the reciprocating movement of the tool, that is the primary motion, whereas the auxiliary motion, that is the translatory movement of the workpiece. Translatory movement of the workpiece, that means it may be moved in x direction or it may be moved in the y direction. So the movement in x and y direction is known as the translatory movement. I am repeating this topic because in many of the time for you there is a confusion in between the working principle of the shaper machine, slaughter machine and the planar machine. So up to now in many of the videos we have discussed about the working principle of the shaper, planar and slaughter machine. So keep this in mind that there is a similarity in the case of this shaper and slaughter machine, just difference in the movement. In the case of the shaper machine there is a horizontal movement, whereas in the case of the slaughter machine there is a vertical movement. Other than this, primary and auxiliary motion are similar. Whereas in the case of the planar machine, the reciprocating movement of the workpiece, that is the primary motion, and the translatory movement of the tool, that is the secondary or auxiliary movement. So now keep all these auxiliary and primary motion in the mind regarding to this shaper, planar and slaughter machine. Let us discuss about mechanisms available in the slaughter machine. So the first mechanism used, that is slotted link and gear mechanism. The another one is slotted disc mechanism. The next one, and that is mostly used in many of the machinery, that is reversible electric motor. And the widely used nowadays in industries, that is the hydraulic mechanism. And as we have discussed previously, in the case of the slipper mechanism, this hydraulic mechanism is fluid operated, and in the case of slipper machine there is oil is used. And why there is advancement or use in this hydraulic mechanism is it overcomes the problem arises, that is in the case of the mechanical parts used in different mechanisms. The major disadvantage of using these mechanical parts in the mechanism is that the first problem, that is the noise, because in the case of the mechanical parts the noise is generated which is harmful to the operator. The second disadvantage, that is the vibration of the machinery. As the mechanical parts are operating, it leads to the vibration of machinery, and which might deteriorate the surface finish. And the third disadvantage of using the mechanical parts is that due to the continuous movement of that parts, let us take an example of the gears. When the gears are meeting each other, there are chances of wear and tear and the gears, and after certain times these gears needs to be replaced for better machining operations. So the another disadvantage of using that mechanical parts, that is the wear and tear. So all these disadvantages are overcome by using this hydraulic mechanism, and due to that these hydraulic mechanisms are used in industries nowadays. So these are the different mechanisms that are used in the case of the slaughter machine as per the requirement. And let us now discuss the major application of this slaughter machine. This slaughter machine is used for machining flat surfaces. It is also used for machining cylindrical surfaces. Similarly, it is also used for machining irregular surfaces and also during cam machining. And the major use of this slaughter machine is machining slots, keyways and grooves as per requirement on the component. So up to now in this lecture we have discussed about in detail the slaughter machine parts, slaughter machine mechanism and the application of this slaughter machine. So I hope it is clear to you what are the importance of this slaughter machine and where this slaughter machine is helpful. So looking forward to see you all in our next lecture. Up to then, thank you.